Sense and Noise. We are back here at LC Africa with my usual panelists, the indomitable, beautiful Josephine Namakumbi and an intelligent young man, Raymond Tamale from NMG. But before we start, and your usual host is Hassan Mutunza as always, let us first get some advert from Maganjo Grain Millers. Tufuneyo ku ngano ne kawunga kasinga okuwoma mu nsi eno Uganda ne mu season na eziri ku planet Earth.
Mu mutima gwa Uganda mulimu ekimera ekyenjawulo era nga kijiddwamu omutindo ogusukkulumye. Engano ya Jiko nga ekolebwa ab'Amaganjo Grain Millers. Kola ebyokulya eby'omulembe nga okozesa Jiko owome.
Well, this week on Tuesday, we had a press conference in Maganjo trying to unveil his Golden Jubilee Award. And we are lucky that these two journalists of ours were there. And I would like each one of them first give us 2 or 3 words about how he read about Dr. Benon Luja, how inspired he became. And you introduce yourself and then come in with Dr. Benon Luja about the Golden Jubilee Award.
Good morning to our viewers of LC Africa. I missed you last week. I had a very tight schedule, but I thank my colleagues for keeping it up there. Our host, Mr. Hassan Bwambale Mutunzi, well done. Thank you so much. I was so happy at that event because, one, a great patriot was recognized, but also a great leader in the Seventh-day Adventist Church was also recognized. And then an investor, a local investor, who has prioritized investing their money and time locally, but also exporting the local products elsewhere, was also recognized. To me, it spoke to how much government can get from local investors if they choose to prioritize them, if they choose to support them. Because from Dr. Luja's speech, he seems to be now working with Chinese that have brought in the technology.
He actually even got a loan from China.
Yeah.
Directly.
So that speaks to how much Ugandans can do if they get such opportunities of engaging such big investors and innovators. But also, he pointed out on the issue of taxes. Someone who pays 3 billion,
5 billion per month.
5 billion per month to the national coffers, that person deserves maybe a tax holiday or something that can motivate them. He pointed it out that most of the local innovations, what kills them are the taxes. Most of them are taxed beyond their survival, which is very true. We have seen several companies struggling right here in Uganda. We have seen people that try to change the community and the country at large suffering, and sometimes those companies do not even see their 5th birthdays. So maybe it is high time for government to look into such initiatives that can support such innovators so that we can make more money here, but also send out these products out of the country, which will actually market the country, Uganda, but also attract more investors to trust us and come through to add on to what we've started as a country.
Thank you. Raymond, have you tasted the Jiko and the wheat flour, the maize flour from Maganjo? And what feedback can you give to the public?
Good morning to all our viewers of LC Africa this morning. Yet again, it's another week for us to discuss matters of national importance on this beautiful channel. I've not tested it because I'm looking forward to the weekend when I'm free, relaxed, and then I can make some mandazi at home, and maybe enjoy and fry. They say it's good for men to be in the kitchen once in a while, so I want to try it out this time.
Have you ever tried it? It might be the end of you.
Going to speaking about Maganjo, my pointers from what I got out of the press conference that happened this week is that he spoke about the high interest rate that banks are offering to business owners in regards to finance. He said that the government put the Uganda Development Bank for them to give them money, but when they go to access funds or finance, they're asked that these are agricultural loans given to people who are in agriculture. But remember, Maganjo and the rest are into industrialization, so it becomes very hard. And he told me that they're getting money at an interest of 22%. That is very, very high, very, very high. So right now you're looking at countries like China, because he said he's getting money from China, Exim Bank, at 2%. And also he spoke about the fact that if he could be given a tax holiday of only 1 month, he could build another Maganjo elsewhere. So it means that right now,
he has actually factory in Jinja.
so what it means right now is that he urged the government to really increase on the tax base. Yes, it's okay for government to tax those who are into agriculture, industry and all that, but let the government look outside the scope and look at other people who are doing other things, and just looking at these industries who are making money and telling them, you know what, let me bleed you dry.
Well, on Thursday, we had the passing of the Protection of Sovereignty Bill in Parliament amidst several hesitation from the reservations from the opposition side. They are saying that this bill is not necessary as of now. This is one of the many stories that made the headlines this week, and Josephine, you have been a keen follower of this sovereignty bill. The last time you were here, you said that the bill is bad.
Yeah.
And then the president said, you're making noise. I think the president was
Orwari.
Was watching Sense
Africa.
and Noise.
Yeah.
And now, after that noise, he said they should do an amendment. He said his bill was not about money. His bill was about policies. He doesn't want the influence of the Bazungu into Ugandan policies. Start from there.
Hasten and our viewers of LC Africa, from the inception of this bill, I said it is not good for Uganda, because the heart within which it has been built, a government that has been in power for 40 years, has just realized that maybe there are a lot of loopholes that these foreigners are using to come through and indulge into the politics of this country. But also the tension that came with the bill. You remember when the president made that statement, the speaker said, I don't have any information about that. It's going to pass as is. I pretend over the law in parliament. That kind of energy and command speaks to a lot of things. So to me, it came off like it was a do or die, because the security was so big.
Do or die for who? For parliament or for the president, for the executive?
For the government. Because the security that was deployed around parliament and even around Kampala spoke volumes. If you're doing this for Ugandans, why do you have to bring in the UPDF, the military police, counter-terrorism, to put them on the streets as you pass such a bill? But also, several organizations came through to voice their concerns against this bill. The NGOs, the journalists, the political parties, many people came in. Actually, even the head of the Bank of Uganda, Mr. Achinego, he said it himself. We are shooting ourselves in the feet.
I think the Bank of Uganda remarks were in regards to the earlier bill that hadn't had the amendment.
Were the amendments considered?
Yes, they were.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, yes.
Because when
They were
they amended the...
No.
They
The
amended,
Speaker of Parliament
Yes,
said
thank you so much.
nothing is going to change.
but they amended
if the president wanted to change something, he would have called me. That's what he
they
said.
amended the reference to the foreigner. That one was amended.
I think it was just one thing that
People
was
who are
just
working
listed.
abroad cannot... Ugandans cannot be.
It was just a thing or two that were a bit twisted, but nothing was changed in totality. So this speaks to how much energy sympathizers of this government have deployed to make sure they protect their own interests against those of the Ugandans.
And they protecting the interests of Ugandans.
They are not. Did they consult Ugandans?
Yes, they did. About 53 groups made the committee.
What were their reservations on the bill?
They refused the bill.
What came out of the bill? What came out of Parliament?
The bill was passed.
You understand? So they were not considered. No Ugandan was considered in passing that bill. And like I said, journalists, everyone in this country is going to feel this bill. If it is not repealed, if it is not, if the president goes ahead to sign it off, it is going to bite each and every person. To me, I think it should actually prepare us as Ugandans that the years to come might even be tougher than the years we've endured.
But Josephine,
especially
you see,
economically.
You see, this bill,
Yes,
you'll excuse me for interjecting there. This bill is also in other countries like the USA, the UK, where they protect their sovereignty. Why is it so bad to think that Uganda is walking on a wrong lane when they bring such a bill?
Harrison, the US does not survive highly or heavily on foreign remittance into their country. Is that so?
That is true.
Is it the same case for Uganda? We survive so much from money that has come out, that has come from outside the country. So if you bring such a bill at such a time when people are struggling economically, when people are surviving on just one meal or no meal a day, when people cannot even take their children to school, we have seen the numbers of dropouts every year. They keep growing. But also, parents abandoning families and homes. This speaks to the hardships in the economy. So why the timing? Why now? This speaks to the political pressure, political censorship, but also freedom censorship, especially for the press and other non-government organizations that operate to educate people about their civic rights and, such works.
Now,
So to me, it has come for everyone and we should all start mourning.
Now, when you look at this bill and the motive and the urgency they had with the bill, do you think because the speaker is in the race for speakership for the next term, had to show government that they have to pass the bill against all costs?
Raymond.
I'm asking Raymond.
Good morning again. I'm still puzzled, by the way. I don't know if you remember when they're passing the amendments in the rationalization of agencies, the coffee bill, remember? The harshness they used, whereby even beat up MPs in Parliament, the lights were switched off and all that, deployed SFC and all that. And I can tell you for a fact, yes, it was good to rationalize most agencies because it was double. You have UNRA, you have Ministry of Works, they could do the same job. But some entities had to remain independent, like the coffee. Right now, I think coffee farmers, neither or somehow, are going to the line of vanilla, whereby the coffee is losing its niche, the price.
But the price has risen up.
I'm saying somewhere, somehow, along the way, I stand to be corrected. Time to come. I'm not a prophet of doom, but I'm just saying, time to come. Reason being that now you have one person who's deciding for you the price. You have to sell to dealers so that they can sell to government. You know that?
And the quality.
So back to the sovereignty bill. Yes, the bill was passed in a way that is to protect the country and its sovereignty and all that. Yes, it's okay. But I think we had a chat this week about what the president spoke about and what the bill was speaking about. Now, and I remember on X, even me and Bwambari were going back and forth. Bwambari said, now the bill has been signed. Is it the bill of Among or the bill of Museveni? And I told him, if it's the bill that Museveni wanted, he will sign it. If it's not the bill that Museveni wanted, he will not sign it. And also, I think it was wrong for the speaker to say, if the president has not called me, I don't think there are any amendments. Come on. As the Speaker of Parliament, in whatever you do, the president holds the highest, is the highest bid in all this. You cannot say that the president did not call me for any amendments. Yet in Parliament, where you sit, the amendments were brought in the committee by the Minister for Internal Affairs, David Muhoozi, and the Attorney General. So it's like she's hoodwinking people, and then that's why there was a lot of fracas in Parliament, because they're saying the amendments. And also saying that the amendments, looking at only one side, whereby you're looking at only foreign agents. What about the finances? Yes, money can now still come in, but they said at a data point, that money has to be screened and understand what's its use into the country. But remember, every day that goes by, there are very many investors that come into this country bringing in money in dollars. How is it going to be done? So the bill itself is still, I feel like it still needs to be corrected and then amended, because truth be told, actually, even besides we go that, people need to understand in a local dialect what is sovereignty. Because
are we sovereign?
Sovereignty is whereby you're looking at the borders, looking at our Uganda anthem, what we have as Ugandans. Because even what this we're putting on right now, the shirts we're putting on, this is not ours.
Yes.
Sovereign means that you're protecting what is your own from your sweat.
So, Raymond, what do you read into the missing of Major General Kahinda Otafire in action? Because he is the Minister for Internal Affairs. But the bill was tabled by his state minister. Kahinda did not come to the House. Kahinda did not come to the committee. What do you read behind the scenes?
Yet he was engaging in other activities in the country.
It just says that maybe there's a lot of contradiction going on between the ministers and the ministry. That someone is getting orders from someone else, and then someone tells them, you know what, in whatever you're going to do, don't engage me. I'm out of this. So maybe Kahinda Otafire is stepping out of this and saying, you know what, I don't want to be on my name that I was part of this sovereignty bill. And maybe David Muhoozi, since he's a junior minister, he says, you know what, because in government, when a minister sends you, like for example in ICT, if Barrio Musi calls Kabyanga and tells him, go and represent me, it is precedent because you're a junior minister.
Yeah, that's true.
So Otafire can delegate David Muhoozi to go and represent him, even when he has his views that are biased about the bill.
But also, Hayson, for the Otafire factor, it speaks volumes, by the way. You've seen what he's been saying recently. We are old. We cannot handle this pressure. Why are they kidnapping people? You know, he's been so random and talking about things that are hurting Ugandans. He's been remorseful, maybe the only voice out of this government, about how Ugandans are being abducted and some are being tortured. People have been in prison without trial for 4 years, 5 years. But also, you remember when he clashed about the digital number plates? He said, I don't know that company. And then Minister Jim Muhoozi came and said he was not part of the engagements. So it really speaks volumes that even inside government, there are people that do not back this bill. There are people that do not like it, that fought it or stand against it, but they had no option. And I think it is high time they gather efforts. They come together with those that stood against this bill. When the president assents to it, they go to court to seek redress.
Well, just a day after they had passed the bill, the president went to his social media handle and thanked the NRM MPs for being patriotic and passing the bill. Do you envisage the president ascending to the bill, even when he thanked them? Because I've seen several times when the president has refused to assent to the very bills that them themselves have presented to Parliament.
What I know about the president is that he's a leader that takes time to read things word by word. That I credit him highly. Listen to all views of people. In this, I think he'll have his own committee again as the president to seek views from the Governor Bank of Uganda, from religious leaders, and people from the political divide. Reason being, he always wants to do something whereby he still has the control and not have someone who's going to against him. Reason being is that if you look at this right now, it seems like now religion is more, religion and government are two different governments going on right now. If you go against where the religion is getting money from, you're going, it's like you're going against another government in a government. So when the religious leaders stepped out and said, you know what, if you pass this bill, you're going to cut our funding from outside, because most churches, for example, even the Catholic Church gets funding from the Italian, from Italy. So a lot, I believe before he assents to the bill, he will do another consultation on his own as a president after swearing in, I believe. And then seek for the views before he signs, and then most likely he will do some amendments and send it back to Parliament.
Why are civil society making so much noise about this bill? Because we understand they might be having their other motives besides doing civic,
motives?
Civic work.
Which motives?
No, I'm speaking for making comments.
Like which one?
Because they are so much hurt about the sovereignty bill than anybody else.
Hasten, just to draw...
That is why they were asking, why are you so much hurt? Is it true that these foreigners have been using you, the CSOs, to peddle into the affairs of the natives of the country?
Hasten, no CSO is run without certification from government.
That's true.
So if there was any that was engaging in acts against this government or intended to oust this government, they would have been detected long time ago. But I wanted to supplement to what Tamale was saying. The president seems not to be interested in this bill.
Yet he's the mover of the bill.
But if you look at the contents of the bill, he doesn't seem to be the biggest beneficiary.
The most thing
this bill.
president is interested in is one. Actually, I can read what he.
Hasten,
I think Elsie
Hasten.
Africa has now a new spokesperson
Yes,
for
because
government.
No.
Because let me just finish up.
I'm trying to read what the president.
Hasten.
Let me first read verbatim so that you reply. Fellow Ugandans, especially the Vazukulu, greetings. This is to congratulate the NRM MPs for passing the sovereignty bill, which simply means mutuleke tukole ebyaffe ngamwe bwe mukole ebyammwe wataliwo okubayingirira. That is the most important interest of the
You're
president.
talking about a president that has been in power for 40 years. He has seen the biggest opposition coming for him, but he has maneuvered without that sovereignty bill. There was a time when Besigye left the country, and when he returned,
2001.
it was chaos, but he contained it. So why is it so hard for him now to use the same avenues that he has been using to contain such, and now to bring in another bill that seems not to be working for him? Because, I mean, there's nothing new that has changed that he cannot handle.
Is he right when he says, mutuleke tukole ebyaffe ngamwe bwe mukole ebyammwe?
As Ugandans, we have a stake about everything in this country. The power belongs to the people.
I mean,
what the Constitution
he's telling
says.
the foreigners in this regard.
Hasten. The same bill describes Ugandans that go out of the country as foreigners.
No, that was amended.
That is where I'm coming from. So if Ugandans have risen their voices, they want you to stop it, and they've aired out their reasons and concerns about why they don't want the bill, and then you go ahead to pass the same bill, and now pride in it that let us do our stuff. You're literally standing against Ugandans because there are some people that have told you we don't want this bill. So I feel like the president didn't have any reason as to why to bring such a bill, because, I mean, there's nothing new that has come up. He has actually dealt with more pressure than what is happening currently. So this seems to be crafted for someone else that might benefit from it, maybe a future leader or something, because Ugandans, that's how Ugandans have perceived this whole bill.
Tamara, what do you read into the words of the president when he says, mutuleke tukole ebyammwe ngamwe abazungu bwe mukole ebyammwe? Kubanga the Ugandans are not interfering with the affairs in the US and the UK and other countries.
We have 3 cameras here. None of them has Bubu, made in Uganda, build Uganda.
Which
Those shoes you're putting on here are not even Ugandan. The bill is crafted from the background of Russia and China. Russia and China, as we stand right now, they have their own motor vehicles, they have their own banks. If you go to Russia, you don't use Visa. You know that?
Yeah, that's true.
If you go to China, you don't use anything like a dollar. It's only $1 or maybe the China one, isn't it? That means they are sovereign enough. And funny how that we are signing a bill whereby most Ugandans who are trading in the country are going to China to buy things. If you're doing consultations in regards to military, where do you go for military hardware? You go to Russia, go to China. So are we sovereign enough to really be sovereign? Or just signing a bill to assent to it and say, you know what, at the end of the day, my kid also got married, but they are not married.
Well, at the backdrop of the passing of the Protection of Sovereignty Bill, we are entering into a new government next week. But before we start on that, let us first go into a commercial break with Maganjo Grain Millers, the greatest wheat making company in Uganda.
Mu mutima gwa Uganda mulimu ekimera ekyenjawulo. Mu mutima gwa Uganda mulimu ekimera ekyenjawulo era nga kijiddwamu omutindo ogusukkulumye. Eŋŋano ya Jiko nga ekolebwa ab'Amaganjo Grain Millers. Kola ebyokulya eby'omulembe nga okozesa Jiko owoomerwe. Nations. Mu mutima gwa Uganda mulimu ekimera ekyenjawulo era nga kijiddwamu omutindo ogusukkulumye. Eŋŋano ya Jiko nga ekolebwa ab'Amaganjo Grain Millers. Kola ebyokulya eby'omulembe nga okozesa Jiko owoomerwe ne family.
Sense and noise. There is so much noise in the building here. We are talking about Bubu. They are saying that the shoes I'm putting on are not sovereign. They're coming from Italy. So that is what Raymond is trying to say. But all that said, we are coming to an end of the term of office for the NRM government, the government in power. And at the start of their term, they promised to secure the future for Ugandans. And we are going to do a deep analysis into what the NRM government promised Ugandans, what it has done and what it has failed, and what we expect them to do in the government that is starting on Tuesday. Raymond, you covered the 2021 presidential general elections.
A bit.
Is that true?
A bit. I think Namakumbi has more.
I am a victim.
You covered the NRM side or the opposition side?
I don't think a side is needed here. It's elections.
No, I mean covering.
No, it's just elections. I don't think
Okay.
we did a side. Yeah.
Okay, did elections.
Yeah.
You had several promises from the NRM and their slogan, securing the future. How can you briefly describe what they have done to the country?
Have you secured yours?
At least his is secured because he has grown fatter.
Oh, okay.
Our viewers.
Disclaimer.
That is the noise, please. Now let us speak sense.
Anyway, speaking sense to the tenure of the NRM in the 5 years, there are ups and downs, that's a fact. But of course, the population which is voting the government into power is looking at the downs more than the ups. You're looking at the 5-year tenure which is ending at the time whereby there is trade order which has been implemented. People have been pushed to the village, they have no jobs. At the same time, the government is saying you're going to build markets, which song has been sung for the last 10 years, even during the tenure of Lukwago, who is leaving office. Ever since Lukwago came into office, government has been saying they're going to build markets across the country, but I can tell you for a fact, the markets they're speaking about are built by the World Bank. The markets that are built by the Ugandan money are very, very minimal. Like, for example, like, which one?
Is World Bank a donation or
it's a grant. It's a grant.
Oh.
So that means that at a later point you shall pay. But also,
now how can you fault government on that if they are going to pay in the future?
Me and you. how is the future like?
That is piling more debts onto the
Okay,
children. of our
continue,
children.
Also,
Are your children
economically,
going to be in Russia?
also
What may be here?
economically, the government has tried its level best, but the employment or unemployment rate is really, really, really shooting up on a daily basis. I wish the president had the same vigor 10 years back urging people to study sciences than it is right now. Reason being is that right now the jobs that are available are in sciences. The money which is available is in sciences. Why? We have diseases like cancer, we have people who are studying medicine, we have oil coming up, we have all these things of science and all that. But we have very many people who have gone to school and studied SWASA, media, they have gone to study monitoring and evaluation. Just the other day when at Maganjo, the CEO said that I have a person who came here and they did CPA, and I told them go to a public entity and do accounting from there, not a private entity. So it shows you that the country itself is growing forward in terms of independence, 40 years, but economically we are still starved and hungry. We are depending on development donors outside to run the country. On a daily basis, I can tell you, the PSST can come and say, the government this quarter has released this much money, but the money is actually not there on the account. So what you are surviving on is that if you can pay people's salaries, the rest you can manage and go by. Imagine a country whereby we have a swearing-in which is happening in a few days from now, and then you tell the ministers, give us all your cars. We're going to use them for swearing-in. But remember, there were cars that were brought for protocol.
Yes.
From China. From China, just a few years back when Kutesa was still the minister of Foreign Affairs. From China. But I can tell you for a fact, most of those cars have been engaged in accidents.
Even NAM, recently.
So,
no, there are those that are there, of course.
so we're not saying that the government is not functional.
Not that they are all vanished.
But let systems work. Let there be an audit about things that are supposed to be in government. The person who's in charge of that fleet that was brought in from China, even the fleet from NAM, who are the cars right now? Were they scanned? Were they vandalized? Were they engaged in accidents? Let us do an assessment and understand. Because at the end of the day, the more you keep on buying these cars, or the more you keep on getting cars from the ministers, you're showing them that, you know what, at the end of the day, even where you're seated is not your place. These are just cars. Let
us also talk about the human rights space for the past 5 years. You have been a victim of human rights abuse when you were hit badly in the by-election of Kawempe. Bakukuba. What do you have to say about that?
The human rights violation in this country are really worrying. I can tell you for a fact. Just 2 days back, I got a phone call from one of the members in the political party, and he was telling me that there is a family member who came to him saying that they abducted the son. When the father went to police to complain about the son being abducted, they also took the father away. So imagine a family has no father figure around right now. I, speaking Raymond Tamale, during the Kawempe by-election, I was abducted. Beaten.
Yet we were branded.
Yes, we were branded, and people know NTV. But after the abduction and the beating, I sat down and asked myself, am I doing the wrong job or am I doing the right job? Reason being, the job I'm doing, I am not supposed to speak positive about government all the time. I'm supposed to do my job. I'm supposed to do checks and balances. We do checks and balances even in opposition, whereby if opposition comes up and speaks nonsense, we do checks and balances, even if it's government. So it made me feel like, you know what, should I leave this job and do something else? And ever since, my mindset about journalism has changed. Because it feels
after the beatings.
Because it feels like it's until, and they say, and I used to doubt it, it's until that you know that you're doing a very good job, that's when they beat you. If you're doing a shitty job, they'll not look for you. So even Namakumbi here, I can tell you, even when they're closing the Uganda UN human rights offices, Namakumbi and Wamala were hit badly. And even
hey, by the both of your victims, you are hit, you, Lubowa, and Isano. Did government engage you after that fracas?
What is engagement?
Of course, speaking to you as a victim.
No,
what does speaking?
Government has very many entities.
Hasten.
For example, Uganda Human Rights came to us and we gave them our ordeal, and we spoke to them about what is going on. I had a chance yesterday to interact with one of the commissioners of Uganda Human Rights, Crispy Kaheru, and asked Crispy, so Crispy, how is the human rights organization going on? yeah, we are there and all that. And I asked him, so what happened to our case? Because I understand that you have a case with you. And he said, Raymond, if you go by the position of first come, first serve, we're in 2026. You might have to come to the commission in 2036.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now,
Because we have cases that are going back
Securing your
until
future.
2016. So, but he said, because we are looking at the way that we are looking at political cases with urgency and all that, you might appear soon, but you didn't give a date.
so you have never appeared to the Uganda Human Rights Commission.
But we gave them our report,
Government did
and they
not
know about
engage
this.
you.
Engaging
No,
government.
what?
Government engaging us is on different fronts. There's you meeting a government official and he tells you we apologize for what happened and all that. But then engagement, I don't know from your perspective, is what?
No, I'm not meaning the other engagement that the bloggers wrote about. It's not what I'm meaning.
This program.
Some bloggers,
What did they write?
The viewers of LC Africa,
What
this
did
is a
they write?
disclaimer. It's possible that the host has been compromised.
no,
And I might take over the show.
There's-
Moving forward.
there's no compromise whatsoever. Before you give the microphone to Josephine, I want you to rate the performance of the NRM government from your own perspective. Fair, good, bad, poor.
Fair.
Fair.
Yeah. Because not all
Is bad.
Not all is bad, not all is good.
Okay.
There are people who have gained something in this government, there are people who have not gained something, there are people who are really grasping and they're trying every day. I can tell you for a fact, most journalists who are working right now, every day, find it so hard to wake up in the morning.
Yeah, that's true.
Reason being that if government ever signed the minimum wage, or even if UCC woke up one day and said, let us do our job and move to different media organizations and understand how are these people living on a daily basis, are they being paid? Maybe someone will have a smile on their faces.
Josephine, you also covered the 2021 general elections. You also covered the 2026 general election. You also beaten thoroughly. After you were beaten, you had a friendly match with UPDF. I want you to...
Maybe those are the engagements that you are looking for.
I want you to look
engagement
into
or-
the NRM promise of the securing your future and discussed several sectors that have performed either fairly or poorly or fairly well. And
Hey son, growing up, we would really look out for when the president is swearing in, you know, that hope and faith that things will be better. Maybe the next tenure will be better than the previous, until it started deteriorating just. Every tenure is worse than the one that came before it in all aspects. I will differ a little bit from my brother Raymond. I feel like government is just deteriorating every other tenure that they come into office. The freedoms. As we speak, the people that are supposed to enforce the law are the lawbreakers. They do it in broad daylight and no one runs after them. I was among the journalists who were attacked in 2021 at the UN Human Rights Commission offices in Kololo. But up to date, I've demanded to meet Lieutenant Colonel Napoleon Nabimanya to understand from him why did he have to...
is that the same day when the late Nachimuli was beaten? Is that the same day when?
No.
That's a different day.
Yes, that's a different day.
Okay.
But maybe it was the same commander. I don't know. So for all these 5 years, I've pleaded with everyone in security. I wanted to meet that person because the way they came down onto us, it was a direct attack, unapologetic. You know, an officer running after you, a man, and then steps on your back and then hits you with that bar. It is so bad of this government to then organize a friendly match to seem to be reconciling that. That is something you will not take away from my life. I have had to endure permanent injuries that I'll have to live with my life, all my life, because of that attack. So if you tell me that they are great things that have been registered in the previous tenure, I don't see anything because the rights and freedoms are just deteriorating. 2-3 years ago, another journalist who was pregnant was beaten and then she had a miscarriage. No accountability, nothing. If you're lucky, they come out and apologize and move on. Some of them have been bought up with fake monies, 2 million. Irene Abalo, I was with her in the same situation. We were attacked together. But a part of their group was told, come, we give you 2 million, you back off the case. And even when you go to the courts of law, you're not given chance for your case to mature and get the justice that you want. They will push you to the wall, given our circumstances and payment structures as journalists. You are pushed to the wall, and sometimes people had to give up. There are people that were damaged so gravely and badly. I think Abalo still walks with a walking stick up to date. But you see
So
that kind
Abalo
of
is
injury.
walking with a stick, and yet she got the 2 million to back off.
She was swayed off with that amount. You understand? So I feel like this government has not taken any interventions intentionally to reconcile things, to make things better in each and every tenure that has come by. We have seen security officers come against people personally. In the Kawempe by-election, I was sent to cover. I think that's the day they beat up journalists, and that jet guy stood over the car and pointed the gun into the car, threatening that any
The car you
lady-
were in?
No.
The car was just in front of that car. The SFC guys and JAT guys, all armed, but most of them were not even on uniform. You could not tell who is who. They had masks. They were not on uniform. One of them came to the car of the company I was working with then, NBS, and told me, "Namakumbi wava mmotoka ngenda kukuba nkwambule." You understand? This is an officer you don't know, but they already know your name, and they've come out for you. They're telling you, if you move out of the car, I'm going to beat you and undress you. What kind of impunity
Raymond,
is
did they also warn you before they
that? What
beat
kind of impunity is that?
What I know is that before our beating, remember, before I was beaten in Kawempe during the by-election, there was that story we covered in Namere, whereby a fellow journalist, Chibuika, was hit. Remember? Whereby he was hit, and then his groin was stepped on like twice, and his life has never been the same, by the way. So during that time, I think they sent people to warn me, but I was not getting the idea, because it's until I left Kawempe, then I got colleagues who told me that even on the day of the by-election of Kawempe, they tried to call my number, but it was not going through.
to alert you?
Yes.
Oh.
So this speaks to an organized attack on the press. They come out for you when they know your name, they know where to find you, and then you say, you've secured my future in this tenure, really. So for the times I've interfaced with these security officers that are supposed to protect us and guard our rights, it has been the opposite. If you look at the economy, Hayson, I hold a master's degree, but I've been paid the same with someone who has a diploma. I've been doing a lot, but someone else who even does less, because of how they came into an institution, they are paid bigger than you are paid. You understand? So the economy has also been politicized, that you will not be paid because of how much you do or how much you put onto the table, but how you came into an institution.
Can government
That is coming from government into the private sector.
So that's what
where
I
we are
wanted
heading.
to ask you. Can government dictate what the private sector has to pay?
Government has already been doing it. Private sector is copying from government. Maybe if they clean themselves first, maybe the private sector will have a better picture or a better example to copy from. If you look at the political rights, many people are rotting in prison. They've not been brought to court. Most of them, because the law says by the time you should arrest someone, you should have investigated, and the process goes on for them to get justice or for you to get justice. But the people that have been in prison, they were arrested in 2020, the political prisoners, but also the political rights. When you come out to speak about something, they'll either come for your family, your relatives, the people close to you, or they'll shatter your job. You get it? So I don't really understand what kind of future has been secured. If you look at the trust that people have in this government,
Plus the
Ugandans.
Hayson, I don't know, but from what I saw on ground, it was different. The numbers were so low, very low, and even those that came through, most of them were threatened, most of them were beaten, and some of them were even arrested. Some people were registering deaths claiming security officers shot at people on voting day. So with such things, how things have been unveiling in this country, it really speaks to so much. If government is to clean itself, it has a very long way to go for it to get back on track. But from the feedback from the public, from the experiences, personal experiences, but also from the engagements that we've had with people over and over again, people are so disappointed and they don't even care, actually. They feel like, okay, let them continue.
So your red card, NRM government, good, bad, poor, worse, fair, excellent. What is your red card for them for the past 5 years?
I would say, I think the NRM concentrated so much in the earlier years when it had just come into power. It tried to really work and engage the people. But you see, the longer they've stayed in power, they seem to have dropped the priorities of the people, but focusing more on their own survival and how I can benefit from the government in power. I have seen colleagues who have been brought up into the NRM for speaking the truth, but now they've been told, can you do that for the whole country? Can you sustain that for the whole of Uganda? So I feel like a few people have secured their bags in this current government, and I think it might continue that way if nothing changes.
Now give me the red card. Or you're going to give the red card through your explanation.
Like I've said, Hayson,
well,
they started off in a promising way, but the longer they've stayed.
Well, thank you all those that are watching us online on YouTube and Facebook. We thank you for loving and watching LC Africa. We are going into another commercial break. Like always, Maganjo is our main sponsor for this program, Sense and Noise. We shall be right back.
Mu mutima gwa Uganda mulimu ekimere ekyenjawulo era nga kijiddwamu omutindo ogusukkulumye. Engano ya Jiko nga ekolebwa ab'amaganjo Grain Millers. Kola ebyokulya eby'omulembe nga okozesa Jiko owoomerwe ne family. Mu mutima gwa Uganda mulimu ekimere ekyenjawulo era nga kijiddwamu omutindo ogusukkulumye. Engano ya Jiko nga ekolebwa ab'amaganjo Grain Millers. Kola ebyokulya eby'omulembe nga okozesa Jiko owoomerwe ne family. Mu mutima gwa Uganda mulimu ekimere ekyenjawulo era nga kijiddwamu omutindo ogusukkulumye. Engano ya Jiko nga ekolebwa ab'amaganjo Grain Millers. Kola ebyokulya eby'omulembe nga okozesa Jiko owoomerwe ne family.
Sense and Noise every Friday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. here on LC Africa. We are found on Hoima Road, opposite KFC. And these people are telling me that today we really have to make good use of the neighbor.
Yeah.
And we shall see what will be done. We are starting a new, I understand when they passed the protection of the sovereignty bill, public political commentators say that that would have been the last sitting of the 11th Parliament. And they are swearing in on Tuesday, starting on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. What do you make of this Parliament, the 11th Parliament, compared to other parliaments that we have had in the House? We have had several things there.
Raymond is so happy
I can recite you for things that have happened in that House. The censure of the Minister Namuganza, that was unusual to happen. The exhibition, you saw what happened. Recently, we understand that the commissioners got another 400 million.
The personal assistants, actually.
They received on behalf of their principals. So we can say that the view of LC Africa, we can say that Honorable Matthias Mpuga has got a total of 900 million service award from the coffers of Parliament. So we are discussing the 11th Parliament, then how they are going to transit into the 12th Parliament.
I think the 11th Parliament stands out in regards to money. It has come to light right now that the institution of Parliament can never be regarded as broke. Even at the backdrop whereby hospitals don't have money, roads are not being worked on, Parliament has money. Reason being that if you look at the exhibition of Parliament that happened just in the interim of the 5 years, very many people were amazed about the figures that came out of the exhibition. Setting up a radio, which up to now we don't know where it is right now. Remember that setting up the radio of Parliament was during the tenure of Kadaga in the 10th Parliament. But up to now it's the 11th Parliament.
It has never gone on air.
And then you look at the expenses whereby they bought is it called what? Generators for the speakers' homes?
Yes.
Deputy Speaker and Speaker.
Priority.
So, yeah. So very many Ugandans are hurt in a way that government has. Okay, it's true that Parliament has, in a way, immune to spending, that they can get the money they want because they have the ability. But people are just worried about the fact that how can Parliament spend this much money yet there are people who are ailing with issues going on. Individuals like Anita Among and Tayebwa and the commissioners, everyone is being judged in their own way. Why are people looking at the commissioners in a bad way? It's because all of us never knew that there was a service award in Parliament until news broke out and they said that, you know what, as Mpuga was getting off as LOP in Parliament, he was given a service award, appreciation, Akasimu, 500 million. And someone was asking,
which barred his political career.
And someone was asking, why would you give someone 500
He's a
million for doing
president,
their job that they're supposed to? Because you see, when you're being elected as a member of Parliament, that is your money. That's your investing money. But people are voting you. But then why are you supposed to be thanked for being low? For what? For what reason? Really?
Or for being a commissioner,
Yeah,
because
for being
there
a
are
commissioner,
also
really.
other commissioners got the money.
So it's really so disheartening. And besides that, by the way, the issue isn't about eating, because every one of us eats in their own way. You can maybe go get a kadid of 50K or 100K. But the figures are alarming. 500 million.
The president for the last 2 years has been complaining a lot about
corruption.
Saying corruption. Even in the retreat in Chankwanzi said corruption. Do you think this can be solved in the 12th Parliament with regards that the president is complaining about corruption?
The president is caught in between two things. The president has people in cabinet or in government who are his friends. And another fact also, the people who are engaged in corruption, NRM. I want to take you back. When they said that there was a budget committee that asked for money from the Ghana Human Rights, the people who were on that committee, one of them included Sise Namuju. When the president was speaking in Chankwanzi, closing the retreat they had in Chankwanzi, he said, "Where is my daughter?
Who gave me a lot
Namuju,
of information.
where is her? Where is she? Namuju, come here." Then she said, "Mr. President, I want to speak to you privately." "Oh, my daughter, it's okay." So the president is caught in between whereby he wants to fight corruption, but people who are engaged in corruption are maybe in the inner circle of the president. So it becomes very hard to fight corruption. Remember, Even if right now I woke up in the morning and Josephine is my sister and you're the husband, and they say Tamale is engaged in corruption, it will be very hard for Namakumbi to stand up as the IGG and say, Raymond, we're going to arrest you. Because first of all, you're protecting the family.
I would do it, Raymond. I would do it because I've seen how much corruption has taken away from Ugandans. I've seen people dying.
In that regard, if you look at the previous IGG and the current IGG, you see a very different yardstick. The previous IGG was just shouting, sorry to say, was good at speaking English and going to boardrooms and securing funding for the IGG as an office. But this one has shown you that, you know what, at the end of the day, officers in government are supposed to be accountable. I saw different letters in different dailies, Daily Monitor and New Vision, whereby she was saying, if these individuals do not come up with an accounting mechanism of how they spend this money, they're not going to be paid for this much time. And that's an IGG. You understand? Okay, it's too early to call that she's doing her job, but at least she's trying.
Because even Betty Kanya started off like
she's trying.
that.
You understand? So the fight against corruption in this country goes over and beyond. And by the way, you'd be surprised that the corruption in the private sector is even worse.
Now, going back to Parliament, I will have had the first tenure of Honorable Tayewa and Right Honorable Anita Among. The President has so much complained about corruption in that house, and is the very person that endorsed the two for speakership and deputy speakership. Isn't the President contradicting himself?
This shows you that the President is getting reports from different people, meaning that as you're doing your job as a speaker or deputy speaker, he has eyes on you to monitor you and understand what actions you're doing at the back of you running Parliament as a speaker. Of course, the President knows how much money the Parliament is getting and how much they are using. And you see also, there's some leaders that are looking at institutions they run as heads, as their own. You understand? As their own. And I think this came about when Kadaga was still the speaker, because Kadaga said, if the President did not consult, if I did not help the President with the age limit bill, he will not be the President. So understand? So I think that having
transaction.
So I think they're having a copy and paste. Even the current speaker is saying, you know what? Like, for example, when they're passing the sovereignty bill, she said, the President did not call me to consult me about any amendments. So it shows that there's a bit of bickering between power centers right now. The Parliament feels like it's independent enough away from the presidency that the President cannot tell them what to do. But also the President is telling them, you know what, at the end of the day, I am the one who put you in that
I'm in
office,
charge.
so calm down. But the fight against corruption, me and you will sit down one day and look at it and say, what really happened? Because even right now, I can tell you, people in Parliament are looking at corruption as the only way for them to vow or to vouch for a seat in Parliament. Because everyone is looking at Parliament. Everyone will say, I'm running for Speaker. So give us your ideas. What do you want to run Speaker? I want to fight corruption. I want to have that Parliament is not hinged on one individual. People can speak up. So it's around that, basically. Corruption.
Well, as we go into the swearing in of the new Parliament, because also Parliament will be dissolved automatically by law on the eve of the swearing in of the President. What do you expect this new House to bring on board? Because we're seeing very many new faces, and we're actually going to see prominent faces leave Parliament. The Semuji Ibrahim Gandas, the Medad Segonas, the Asman Basalirwa, and so many other, the Abdu Katuntu. Is Parliament going to miss such faces because they have been Parliament for a long time?
I think it's generational. Right now we have the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs know nothing about Mpuga. The Gen Zs know nothing about Medad Segona. What they look at and what they feel like a person will do for them is what they are going to vote for. None of us here thought that at one point George Musi would outseat Semujunganda for a fact. You understand?
I saw it coming.
But I didn't think about it from the start when they gave George Musi the card. I was like, okay, this is a very good candidate who can
try.
Yeah, who can try. But then as over time it went, I looked at someone who is appealing to the youth. Because right now, let me tell you, Wambale, people are not looking at, people know that leaders are supposed to serve, but leaders are just eating. So someone says, you know what, at the end of the day, let me send Namakumbi, whom I know, than sending someone I don't know about. Let them go and eat, but it's Namakumbi. You understand? Because truth be told, and that's the thing about this government, you don't understand. A member of parliament is supposed to represent your views, not do what government is supposed to do. Reason being, you find a member of parliament standing on the rally and he's saying, hello, how are you? How are your voters? Fine, how are you? We are going to work on that road. As who? As who?
He's going to lobby.
Yeah, thank you. You're speaking the views of the people who voted for you. But you're speaking as if you have the power. That road, the government has failed to work on that road, and I promise you in this 5 years' time, it's not possible. You just represent the
Maybe
views
it's
of the
because
people.
government has...
You understand?
That's
The best an MP
something.
can do is get a grader and level the land. And maybe...
And that is through the town council.
Thank you. We've seen whereby members of parliament go to a constituency where they represent, and they're against the RDC. They're not in tandem. So it shows you that, you know what, members of parliament in Uganda, right now, the president regards them as L1 chairperson.
As I get off you, Raymond, you have covered parliament for some good time, and they are constructing a new house that has taken ages to come to completion. Do you envisage this 12th parliament sitting in that arena-like house?
It's possible, given the fact that government has bought shares in Rocco, the construction company which is doing the building, which is constructing the building right now at Parliament. But also, you should not forget that that building was supposed to be done during the tenure of Kadaga. But maybe somewhere, somehow, the money was diverted into something else. And also, besides the building also, me, I'm looking at, and I saw a tweet some time back from someone in PLU who said that, you know what, at the end of the day, I think what needs to be done is that we really need to go back to the old system. We should not have 500 and plus MPs. For what reason, really? There are so many. Why am I saying that? The Electoral Commission is in plans or has plans of organizing L1 elections. How many are those? How many villages do you have in the country? And remember, you're supposed to pay them 120,000 shillings every year. Why am I saying this? Is the budget for political reasons is getting higher on a daily basis, but the issues that are affecting people, which are supposed to be discussed in Parliament, health, people on a daily basis are dying at the Cancer Institute because of lack of medicine. People are sleeping on the floor. Just the other day we talked about someone who is close to one of the kingdoms in the country who is fighting cancer. I have a relative who died of cancer just a few weeks back. So the issues that are really affecting the people should be discussed in Parliament, other than speaking about, you know what, the president is going the police truck carrying people, putting on NRM t-shirts for rallies. Really?
Well, Josephine, you have also been Parliament, reporting about Parliament. You have been an ardent follower of Parliament business. The 11th Parliament has been regarded by so many political commentators as one that has hit the low in regards to corruption, in regards to bringing several bills that have public contestation. When we are planning to go into the 12th Parliament, how briefly can you summarize how this Parliament has performed?
Listen, to me, it feels like Parliament was intentionally weakened. Where it is where some personalities wanted to put it. Because if you look at the days of those old MPs, you see that transition from the Constituency Assembly, when NRM had just come to power, those first parliaments of 2000s around there, they kind of had, they kind of held water. They would discuss issues of the people, and they would seem to be serving the people because it is the role of an MP. But corruption has eaten up Parliament. Intentional corruption, to me, doesn't feel like accidental. It is so intentional and not a coincidence that now people fight and rush to do everything to enter Parliament, not because they want to serve the people, but because they know it is the only place where you will make a lot of money. You get my point. So it has come off that way intentionally, which has even made it so worse for the people that are supposed to be represented. These are people that want to see their voices being heard and responded to. But Parliament has been so weakened. Actually, this ending tenure has exposed a lot of rot that people didn't even know about. The opposition has tried a little bit, and some MPs from the NRM have been following Honorable Theodore Sechikubo, one of the longest-serving MPs in Parliament. He has been so vocal about things that hurt or affect the people. But we've seen so many people or MPs that have only come into Parliament when there is passing of a bill that is of interest to government, when there are activities that do not even tally to what people demand for or want to be done, but only for their own bags. Maybe they were securing their personal futures. So I feel like this Parliament has exposed a lot that has been going on inside the August House, and now Ugandans have a clear picture of what Parliament is doing. For the Parliament that is incoming, I don't think they will do much because the institution has already been weakened. It is actually not sovereign. You had the speaker. If I want something, I'll get it. If I want something, I'll make it happen. That is the superintendent of the August House, which is supposed to debate, and then people vote on the matter, and then the winners take it. But now she's telling you, I will decide what passes and what does not pass. So yes, we have seen new faces coming in, people that have vigor, people that are so energetic and really want to serve Ugandans, but I feel like they might not get that opportunity.
Well, there was so much wave that came through 2000, I think 23, 24, when they discovered that Honorable Matthias Mpuuga and other commissioners had distributed 500 million shillings amongst themselves. What do you have to make of this?
That same season exposed a lot to Ugandans. No one knew that being a commission of parliament, you have such a lump sum amount that you go away with. No one knew that a service award of 400 or 500 million could be given to one of the members of parliament instead of providing medication or something in the service sector so that Ugandans get their lives improved and, maintained safely without losing people in hospitals when there are no drugs. Someone said the 400 million could set up a top-notch health facility in Butambala. Even here in Wakiso. Wakiso seems to be around Kampala, but then it is one of the areas that are suffering so much with service delivery. So it really exposed a lot that has been going on. And it had showed Ugandans that, hey, have little hope in these leaders because they're there for their bags and not what you benefit as a Ugandan. But also it opened our eyes as Ugandans of the quality of the people that we put in those leadership positions. We have seen the leader of opposition in parliament, Joel Senyonyi. He has tried to touch so many entities and, trying to unearth the corruption and...
Like Uganda Airlines.
Yes, like Uganda Airlines. And then a group of people came out. We also have his secrets. He has been eating. And then he said, expose me. You get it.
But they have never exposed him.
But they've never exposed him. So if they had the facts, they would have tackled them to counter-attack him. So he has also brought or exposed that narrative that if you are a clean leader, you can reign over the unclean.
Now,
but if you're not clean, you cannot even say a word. Maybe the reason is why those that have been in parliament for so long have been so quiet about such things.
Coming to that very point, these commissioners taking taxpayers' money in the name of service award, did this have an impact in their end of their political career? I heard you say that, yes, he's the DF president, but you must know that the party did not register any
They registered someone who...
Any MP.
A member of
No,
parliament?
Any MP. They
Local
registered
council.
some.
Local council, yeah.
I think they got some more two or councillors,
Yeah.
but any MP. Don't you see that Matthias Mpuga has reached the climax of his political journey?
You're trying to set him here.
No.
But
It's too early to call.
yeah, but for Honorable Matthias Mpuga,
That is dependent of what I said, the service hour.
I've interacted with him severally. He's such a good speaker, a leader that speaks to your heart, someone who knows what you're going through. They can even give you hope that they'll make it, they'll address it or push for it, or they are standing with you. So when that service award came into light, it hit Ugandans so bad. Everyone was wondering, this is the same person that felt like he's standing with us, he understands us. But now see the lump sum of money that he's going away with that could have changed our lives. So maybe it kind of tilted public trust in his career as a political figure, but also as a leader who has served very many institutions. He's been in Buganda. He's been an icon of leadership. But now this is something that kind of put him out there, washing away all that he has achieved, all that he carried on his shoulders. I feel like it is not the end of his political career, but people can never see you in the same lens after that, because now you seem to be fighting for your own, not them all, like you've been alleging or telling them.
And a year after that, there comes a report which actually Joel Senyonyi unearthed. It is Joel Senyonyi, the Right Honorable Joel Senyonyi, who first said that we have information that the commissioners have added themselves
Another service
400
award.
million Uganda shillings. That was last year.
Yes.
This week, Agora Discourse brought the evidence to that fact that the PAs received that money.
Yes.
Don't you think that these people did that deliberately to drain the coffers of the country?
With all that has been happening around the commissioners of parliament, they seem to have lost sense in the eyes or in the sight of Ugandans. Because when the first service award came into the news, the media, people started questioning what exactly are they doing as commissioners of parliament. So sieving through their roles as commissioners, it seemed to be a racket of awarding and appropriation of lump sum funds that are not traced or tracked or even scrutinized. So it has really put them out in a very bad way. People now know if you're a commissioner of parliament, you are eating a lot. You are eating what should have helped us. It has really tainted that office of the commissioner of parliament. But also it has showed Ugandans that parliament needs an overhaul. It should be cleaned. The whole of parliament needs to be cleaned. I don't know how long that might take us as a country. I don't know how we might even have to do that. If corruption has eaten up every other sector and institution, I don't know how we might have to do that, but that is what Ugandans are yearning for, an overhaul of parliament, for it to serve the purpose and interests of Ugandans and not the purpose and the bags and stomachs of those that sit in the August House.
Well, we are having so much sense here and also some noise behind the scenes. Parliament will be taking oath, the MPs will be taking oath of office on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. We shall be relaying this broadcast live on LC Africa. All our viewers, you keep watching us. We shall be having you follow all the proceedings. Now, as we come to the end of this show, I want to get parting shots from you, Raymond. We are entering into a very critical week where we're having a formation of new government, formation of new parliament. The ministers have been had their, some people are terming it last supper. They had their last supper on Monday. They will be waiting for the release of the new cabinet. How do you see this whole situation as we come to the end of this show?
The same way you saw new faces coming into parliament as MPs and the old guard getting out of parliament that you thought that they will never leave parliament. And you have people who are remaining like Namboze, the likes of Namboze, the likes of in opposition, I'm looking at opposition. But then also you see on the side of NRM, even now the side of NRM is funny, is that the people who left government at one point are now back. Kamuntu is back.
Dr.
Chionga is back. So it's
Ruhindi is back.
Ruhindi is back. So it's neither here nor there. But what you should know is that the new formation of the government, I'm talking about the cabinet ministers and ministers, might be divided between the son, the father, the mother, and the brother.
Which son? And
I'm talking about the
son
CDF,
is
the first family.
because he has a formation of PLU. The mother has also interest in government. The same applies to the president, who is the fountain of honor, and also General Salim Saleh. So everyone is going to have their part in the cabinet, and then you're going to see very new faces. And finally, by the way, funny how, is that the old guard might have only 5 people or 2 people.
Oh, that is your prediction.
Yeah.
Wow. We also come to understand that we shall be voting for Speaker on the 25th of this month. That is a week after.
That is a very nice race to watch.
Should we keep
In
that
the
topic
bedroom.
for Friday next week after this? Josephine, they are all living in anticipation now. I mean, the MPs, the ministers, they're not, they cannot be seated comfortably now.
None.
If the appointments were made according to performance and how people have held the offices, I feel like we might not have so many of them bouncing back. A few of them have really served this country. Many of them were only are doing propaganda maybe and satisfying the interests of their appointing authorities. A few of them have really served this country and I appreciate them. But we might actually have the opposite in the new cabinet. We might have people popping up, not because they're going to serve as ministers, but because of the interests of the appointing authority. So I don't have a lot of hope in the new cabinet, because this outgoing cabinet, the one that had its last supper, a few of them stood out. And some of them were holding critical ministries that have had issues for so long. People had hope that, oh, maybe this time if they brought this person, maybe he will understand us, maybe she will relate more with us, but the outcomes are different. So we might not really see so many people coming in to serve the purpose of Ugandans or to serve the ministries they will be allocated to, but maybe to serve the interests of the appointing authority. You have seen the jets all over the skies for all this time.
Well,
they speak so much to who might make the decision of the biggest number of cabinet that is going to come in.
Well, by Tuesday midday, we shall be having the new president swearing in. We call him new president because it is a new tenure. And Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who was voted in January by Ugandans, will be swearing in for his fifth. For his 8th term.
Oh yes,
yeah,
yes,
because he's coming to 45 years in power.
Ninth.
We shall be relaying this event live on LC Africa. We thank you all those that have been with us on Sense and Noise. Always, Josephine Namakumbi and Raymond Tamale, we are very thankful to you for giving us your time. I remain Hassan Mutunzi Bwambale, who is your usual host for Sense and Noise. Until next time.
Spokesperson of this incoming government.
That is uncensored.
Mumutima gwa Uganda
that is uncensored.
Era nga kijiddwamu omutindo ogusukkulumye. Eŋŋano ya Jiko nga ekolebwa ab'amaganjo Grain Millers. Kola ebyokulya eby'omulembe nga okozesa Jiko. mutima gwa Uganda mulimu ekimera eky'enjawulo era nga kijiddwamu omutindo ogusukkulumye. Eŋŋano ya Jiko nga ekolebwa ab'amaganjo Grain Millers. Kola ebyokulya eby'omulembe nga okozesa Jiko. Nations. Mu mutima gwa Uganda mulimu ekimera eky'enjawulo era nga kijiddwamu omutindo ogusukkulumye. Eŋŋano ya Jiko nga ekolebwa ab'amaganjo Grain Millers. Kola ebyokulya eby'omulembe nga okozesa Jiko. Owoomerwe.